It's 5 o'clock somewhere. We back.
That was Big Sarge. Yes, sir.
We back. We back. We back. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. You already know what's going on. Listen. Okay. All right. Hold on for a second. I gotta do some maintenance right quick. Give me 1 second. I gotta change it up. It ain't there we go. Welcome to the Texas Happy Hour, sponsored by Hall Family Estates. Make sure you go to www.hallfamilyestates.com. They say you can't buy happiness, but you can buy wine. And that's pretty much the same thing. Woo! What's going on, y'all? You're tuning to the Texas Happy Hour. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the tick and the top at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you're subscribed to the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast and YouTube channel. Make sure if you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you're reading our articles at www.bigsargemedia.com. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Drinks in the air, baby. First of all, let me say this. Thank you, and I appreciate all of the people who just watched the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast live and who are coming back for the Texans Happy Hour. Y'all know that there's a difference, right? There's a difference. There's a difference. Don't think that I'll be ignoring your comments. I see them, but listen, I can record the I can record the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast. I can record it without, I can record it without going live. I can record it and just put it out. But what fun is that? Like sometimes I will do that, but for the most part, hey man, look, Sarge is a man of the people. I should run for office. What did it take to run for office? Well, hell, I mean, didn't take much for the president to become the president twice. So I wonder what it take to run for office. Hey, can somebody let me know that? Somebody drop that in the comments. Hey, what did it take to run for office? I gotta see what that'd be like. But anyway, I appreciate it, right? I appreciate it. For those of y'all, make sure that you listen to Thursday's edition of the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast. When I talk about experience is the key to Kaylee's success, and how him being a former tight ends coach is going to help him. How him being a former tight end coach is going to help that Houston Texans offense. At least that's what I believe, right? So make sure you are subscribed to the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast and YouTube channel. What's going on, good people? Hey, don't think I forgot about y'all. I ain't forgot about you. I got a call-in line. We're going to test that, especially coming into training camp, which starts in a week. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to be looking at, right? There's a lot of things that I'm going to be looking at when it comes to this training camp. And I discussed that a little bit on the podcast. But okay, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so one of my favorite rap artists is T.I. Like T.I., King of the South, T.I., like he in my top 5, right? He's in my top. T.I. is in my top 5. In my top 5. Yeah, I need that calling line to get a Reverend calling to pray for Dalton's blocking. Oh, you funny, Mike. What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Texas Tangent? Hey, so look, T.I. is one of my favorite. Like, he's one of my favorite rap artists. T.I.'s in my top 5. Let me see. In my top 5 of solo rap artists, Scarface, Andre 3000, Jay-Z, DMX, T.I. Yeah. Scarface, Jay-Z. No, Scarface, Andre 3000, Jay-Z, DMX, and T.I. No, Texas Tangent, Pac ain't in my top 5. Pac is not in my top 5. Now, is Pac in my top 10? Yes. Is Biggie in my top 10? Yes. They not in my top 5. Scarface, Andre 3000. You know what? Let me write this down because I'm old. Because I'm gonna have to repeat this again, especially when they hear this. Sorry, what do you mean? Who did you say again? Scarface, Andre 3K, Jay-Z, DMX, and T.I. Oh yeah, we back. Yeah, 2 shows. 2 shows. That hold on, Queena, watch this. This is what I was just about to say. The reason why I brought up T.I. Being in my top 5 of favorite rappers of all time, right? You know, hold on. Let me do this. And I'm not gonna play the whole thing because I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube. I know y'all know this song right here. Hold on. I'm just gonna play the beginning of it. Tell me if y'all can hear this or not. I'm just a man.
What the fuck is this nigga?
Trying to get my hustle on. Trying to feed. Excuse me.
It's the glass on top of the motherfucking piano, bitch. It's a tip glass. Put some money in that bitch. And get the fuck on.
Check this tankle out.
Check this tankle out.
Bad
as
as
a
mother.
motherfucker with my fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, this my song.
Dogs, chickens, ducks, and all that in between.
So y'all know that song, right? It's called The Greatest by T.I. featuring Manny Fresh, right? So on one part of that song, T.I. says, excuse me, but let Young Pimpin' brag for a minute, right? Then I can't say the rest because after that line right there, he said, I got a bottle of Louis and a flock of jumping out of jacuzzi. Until they ain't another in the mess. Maybe y'all ain't heard the lady. Anyway, he says, excuse me, but let Young Pimpin' brag for a minute, right? So excuse me, let Big Sarge flex for a minute, right? I just finished doing the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast live. And now we're doing the Texans Happy Hour live. Sarge don't run out of content. Sarge is a real content creator. And he don't need nobody else to help him to create the content. Now, there will be people that will join us, of course, that'll help create the content. But I just did a show. I'm doing a show now. I can end this show, come back in 2 hours, and talk about something totally different. I ain't your regular, all right? I ain't your regular media member. I ain't your regular content creator. And I told you all before, those who can't create content creates confusion. Hey, that's trademark. Do not steal that. That is a Big Sarge original. Those who can't create content creates confusion. That's why you have so many people that you be listening to and watching, and you be saying, what the hell is going on? You be confused because they can't create content. And not only can Big Sarge create Texans content, I got all kind of content that I can create. You all will see. Been telling you that for a minute. Had to get the vacations out the way. I had to get the vacations out the way. I had to get the camps out the way, the football camps out the way. And so, yeah, I could do this. I could give you 7 shows in a row with seven different topics, 7 different things that may or may not sound like something that you've heard on other content creators' pages or on the radio or maybe read about, especially when you're talking about the Texans, because a lot of us see pretty much the same thing, but there's different types of things that I can come up with. You know what? Watch this. So on the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast, I talked a lot about how Nick Caley, being a tight ends coach, his experience as a tight end coach, I believe is going to help him call the offense, because he's going to be able to put that tight end in the back of his mind and say, I know what I can do with the tight end. I know that I can work with Jake Moreland and get the best out of Dalton Schultz, get the best out of Brevin Jordan, get the best out of Kay Stover, get the best out of rookie Luke Lachey. Shout out to AD. Appreciate that, brother, because I was about to butcher that name. I appreciate that. So I said that. But we ain't finna talk about that because I just talked about that on the show prior. Hey, let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball. Now, this is where you can see how Sarge's mind gets to going and creating and doing this, that, and other. And I don't have to talk about the same thing that everybody else talking about. I ain't got to repeat myself. Check this out. I got some content. Nico better wide out than the volume merchant CD Lamb. Mike, hold on, y'all. Y'all give me a second. Mike, this is probably the realest thing that you've said in I don't know how long. That's the realest thing you said. Yes, you're right. You're always confused. Hey, so look, check this out. There's 2 players that I believe on the defensive side of the ball. 2 players that I believe on the defensive side of the ball that is really going to help the Texans on the back end of the season. Like, I believe that on the back end of the season, they're going to help the Houston Texans defense, because by the time they get to the back end of the schedule, with the amount of watching that they're going to be able to do, the observing that they're going to be able to do, getting some playing time here and there, just being able to watch how the NFL works and how day-to-day things are done, and then being able to learn and to watch from Derek Stingley Jr., Kamari Lassiter, Kalen Bullock, CD, because he don't like to be called CJ. I'm talking about CJ Gardner-Johnson, but CD, just learning from these two right here, and cornerback Jalen Smith and safety Jalen Reed. Jalen Smith is a rookie out of USC and cornerback out of USC, and Jalen Reed, safety out of Penn State. How'd you know where I was going? Hey, King Kobe 713 Gaming. Hey, man, go to Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end on Twitter. Drop me where I can send you a gift. Wherever I gotta send it to, ship it to, I'm gonna send it to. I got a gift for you, because great minds think alike. King Kobe 713 Gaming. Let me know. Yes. Jalen Smith, cornerback out of USC, and Jalen Reed out of Penn State. The good thing is, I think that those guys are already ready to make contributions. Now, when I say contributions, I don't mean just jump in there and play like Bullock or play like Kamari. Not having those type of seasons. I haven't seen enough yet, right? I haven't seen enough yet because you remember, it's so funny, right? It's so funny. Side note. Hold on for a second, y'all. Y'all give me because y'all know how we do it right here. Y'all know how we do it on the Texans tailgate, Texans happy hour. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something. I'm making a phone call. I should have just plugged in my aux cord, but you know, I'm old school. This is how I do things, and I hope y'all can hear it. Answer the phone, my boy. Your call has been forwarded. Oh no, you don't get off that easy. I'm calling you right back. You better get on this phone. Watch, he gonna text me. Your call. Let me see what he texts me. He gonna text me in a minute. Hey man, I'm busy. I've been doing such and such and such and such. I gotta call him out. I was gonna listen. Hey, I don't like to talk about people behind their back. That's why I was trying to call him and get him on the show real quick. I told Cody Davis. Y'all remember Cody Davis, who used to cover the Texans, who was also one of the hosts of the Locked On Texans podcast. Y'all remember Cody M. Davis, right? Who has gone on to greener pastures. He's doing a fantastic job with the Detroit News, covering the Detroit Pistons. I told Cody last year, when the Texans drafted Kalen Bullock, and then we went to Ricky Minicamp, and then we went to Texans OTAs. I said, Cody, Kalen Bullock is going to be a starter. No, he's not. He's not going to be a starter. I said, Cody, listen to me when I tell you this. That young man right there is going to be a starter from day one. Yeah, whatever, Sarge. You don't know what you're talking about. You just an old man. Boy, you getting old. Nuh-uh. He a rookie. He ain't going to be starting. I said, so is Kamari. Kamari's a rookie too. I said, that's different though, because you already know. Look, we knew Kamari. After the Texans got rid of Steven Nelson, we knew that they needed somebody on that side. Kamari, plug and play. Kalen Bullock was one of the wild cards. And if you remember, Cody Davis wasn't the only one that didn't think that Kalen Bullock was going to be a starter for the Houston Texans. Day one, this guy, Big Sarge. And this is why you follow me. This is why you follow me and you listen to me and you read my content and you see my content, because I ain't gonna never steer you wrong. Now, I may be wrong, but I ain't gonna steer you wrong. If I'm wrong, then I'll say, hey, don't follow me on this one because Sarge is wrong. Hey, all right, look. Y'all know me and y'all know how I am. Hey, look, I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong. Hey, look, I was the president of the Kiki Kuti fan club. I thought that Kiki Kuti would have success in the NFL. I thought that even if he got away from Bill O'Brien, which I do believe that Bill O'Brien messed with his head so much that he never was able to make it to that next level. But we know Kiki Kuti. I don't even think Kiki Kuti is in the NFL right now. But I was the president of the Kiki Kuti fan club. I was wrong. I was wrong. What's up, DQ? I was wrong. What's up, Brandon? I see got up in here. So I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong. You got a lot of people who won't admit when they're wrong. I was wrong. Hold on. Because I remember Kiki Kuti was with the Dolphins last season for a little bit. Last time I seen he was in the UFL. Okay. I gotta look him up. With that being said, I told Cody Davis from day one, Kalen Bullock is going to be a starter. Look at him. Just look. Just look. Where is my, what I do? Y'all give me a second. Where is my other? Y'all give me a second. Because now I gotta look this up. Give me 1 second. Because I don't wanna be wrong. I don't want to be wrong on this. Where you at, Kalen? I just want to make sure that I had it right. 6'3". Kalen Bullock is 6'3". 6'3". You see the way he moves at 6'3"? Did y'all just hear what CJ Garner Johnson said on the Pivot podcast about Kalen Bullock? You heard what he just said about him? You heard Ryan Clark, one of the hosts of the Pivot, and who hosts some ESPN NFL shows, say, "Hey, I just trained with him this past weekend." Yeah. I'm looking at him from day one, and I tweeted this out too. Hey, Kalen Bullock is going to be a starter. It's going to be a starter. Because I'm watching, I'm saying, hey, one, this dude is a ball hawk. Wherever the ball is, he's pretty much there. Now, just like a lot of people have said throughout the season, could he have been better at stopping the run? Of course. Did he get beat by taking some false steps throughout the season? Yes. What was that? The Indianapolis game where he made the wrong read, and Anthony Richardson and I forgot whoever it was burned him for the 75, 80-yard touchdown pass, 65. I don't remember exactly what it was. Golly, Sarge, don't do the people like that. It's right here. Just go to it and look and see. That was the first game of the season against the Indianapolis Colts. And scoring positions. Yep. It was hold on. What quarter was that? Let me see, y'all. Y'all give me a second. Playlist. Scoring. It was. Nope, it was in this quarter. Yeah, it was a 60-yard pass to Alex Pierce. 60-yard pass to Alex Pierce from Anthony Richardson. So, did he have some missteps? Of course he did. He was a rookie. He was still learning. But by the same token, I said, yo, this guy's good. And he's going to be good. And you could teach him. You could teach him how to come down and run support. You could teach him how to make sure he makes the right read. But you got raw talent in Kalen Bullock. And so I was like, yo, he's going to be a day one starter. And I told Cody that, and Cody thought I was lying. That's why I want to get him on the phone, because I want y'all to hear him say, no, Sarge is right. Yeah, I was. I preface my statement by saying all that to say this. Jalen Smith? You know what Kalen Bullock told me about Jalen Smith? You know what? Somebody remind me, DM me, wherever you follow me at, remind me to put out the quote when I asked Kalen Bullock about Jalen Smith. Remind me to put that out. I have it. I don't know if I ever clipped it up or not, Remind me, I'm going to put it out. He said, hey, man, when you look at Jalen Smith, he can play all three of the defensive back positions. He can play on the outside. He can play nickel. And he can play safety. I said, wait a minute, Kalen. Hold on. He said, that guy can play all, and this is us after the interview was over. I said, hold on, Kalen. You telling me that no matter where they put him on this field, he's going to be able to he's going to be able to play that position. He said he can play three positions, Sarge. He can play the outside. He said he can back up Kamari. He can back up Jalen. And he can back up any me or anybody else as far as safety is concerned. He can play on all three. He can play all three positions effectively. I said, shh. Wow. And that's when I said, you got to give it to the Houston Texans scouts. You got to give it to the Houston Texans scouts. You got to give it to general manager Nick Caserio. You got to give it to head coach D'Amico Ryans. You got to give it to defensive back coach Dino Vaso. You got to give it to safeties coach Stephen Adegoji. You got to give it to Matt Burke, because these are the guys who looks at these guys. They look at, think about it. The Houston Texans, hold on. The Houston Texans got Kalen Bullock in what? They got him in the third round, right? They got him in the third round with the 78th overall pick. Let me see this. When did they get? They got him in the third round. They got Kamari. Hold on. They got Kamari in the second round. So they got Kamari in the second round. They got Kalen in the third round. This year, they got Jalen Smith in the third round, and they got Jalen Reed in the sixth round. So just as high as they are on Jalen Smith, let me tell you a little bit about the forgotten guy, Jalen Reed. Watching OTAs and mandatory minicamp, I didn't want to look at, listen, let me tell you, you all were right here. You all were right here following me. I didn't get caught up in all of this CJ gate. I didn't get caught up in all of that CJ gate as far as, oh, CJ's not throwing. CJ's not throwing. Why isn't CJ throwing? CJ's not throwing. Why isn't CJ throwing? CJ got to throw, right? Why ain't CJ throwing? Hey, can somebody tell me why CJ not throwing? Can CJ throw? CJ throw the ball? Hey, will CJ throw the ball? Can he throw the ball? I ain't get caught up in all of that. I didn't care because I already knew what was going on. I wanted to see certain things. I already knew what Will could do. I already knew what the deal can do. I already knew what Aziz could do. I already knew what Stingley can do. I already knew what Lassiter can do. I already knew what Kalen Bullock could do. I went in looking at specific players. We can talk about the offensive line and what I was looking at in the offensive line. And I told you all, I even did a, for those of you who follow me, I did a podcast about Blake Fisher needs to eat. So we can talk about the offensive line at another time. Looking at these two rookies, and I'm saying to myself, shit, they did it again. They did it again. Because that cornerback and that safety combo of Jalen Smith and Jalen Reed, you're looking at you saying to yourself, I like what they did there. Even though they have two young studs in Kamari Lassiter at the cornerback position and Kalen Bullock at the safety position. They went out and they got another set. They got another set of Kamari and Kalen. They got another set of those two that you're going to have to sit back and watch. And during training camp, that's what I'm going to be focused on. That's what I'm going to be focused on. I'm going to be focused on watching Jalen Smith and watching Jalen Reed, especially when they got to go up against Higgins, when they got to go up against Nico, and when they got to go up against Christian Kirk, and when they got to go up against Noel. And this is, I've said this before. Now, I've seen a lot of people, but I said this a long time ago. And I have the question that I asked rookie offensive lineman Ariante Ursery. Daniel Jackson, undrafted free agent out of Minnesota, wide receiver. I want to see him and Jalen Smith go against each other. That's going to be a good battle. That's going to be a good battle. Because Daniel Jackson, I'm telling y'all, I'm telling you. I don't know how long the Houston Texans can hide him on the practice squad. I don't know if because they have the other two wide receivers that they picked up in the offseason and what's it? Justin, y'all help me out. Justin Boo Sarge, Braxton Berrios, and where's Justin? What's Justin's last name? Watson. I know they got Braxton Berrios. I know they got Justin Watson. And I know that when they're healthy, it may be hard for Daniel Jackson to get on the field. But Daniel Jackson is a route tactician. I'm telling you something I know. Also, and what I mean by hard for him to get on the field, hard for him to make this team when you have those two veterans that he has to beat out. Because Daniel Jackson may not ever see the field this season if the Texans decide to keep him on the 53-man and keep him on the practice squad, rather. Keep him on the practice squad roster. But he's going to make some noise in training camp. He's going to make some noise. Given the opportunity, given a chance, he's going to make some noise. But when you look at Jalen Smith and Jalen Reed, two names I want you to watch for throughout training camp. Two names that I'm going to tell you, hey, when they do good, I'm going to report that they did good. And when they do bad, I'm going to report that they did bad. But on the defensive side of the ball, those are the type of things that I'm looking for. Of course, we're going to say, hey, what is the health status of Christian Harris? Of course, we're going to say, how good does Jalen Petrie look? Another person who CJ Gardner-Johnson mentioned. And one of the guys that I feel like coming back this year, coming off of injury and getting the bag that he got. I don't think that that Jalen has a point to prove, but Jalen has a point to prove. And who did I hear? Was it they said this on the Pivot podcast? So you know what I love? I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. You know what I love? I love making a take, saying a take early on, and then sitting back and watching it and listening to other people say it. And then people be like, oh man, can you believe that they said this? Can you believe they said that? I told you all a long time ago, right? And look, this season, oh yeah. This is my 8th year, 8th, 9th, 17, 18, 19, 20, 9th. This is my 9th season covering the Texans. I'm at that point now where I'm going to flex a lot. I still have humility. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna get I ain't gonna jump out over my skis. Some of y'all too young to know what that means. But I'm also not going to, you know, when I say, well, hey, look, I'm gonna toot my own horn for sure. I said, hey man, even though Jalen Petrie is playing at the nickel position, it's almost like having an additional linebacker out there. I said that last season when I found out that they're putting him right there. And then I started watching him and I said, oh, sometimes he'll come and he'll back up and he'll be right there with the linebackers. I said, it's almost like having an additional linebacker on the field, but he plays the nickel corner position. Y'all heard what they said on the pivot? When he said, man, it's like he played like a linebacker. Yeah, he does. He's not afraid to hit. He's not afraid to come downhill. He's not afraid to do any of that. That ain't nothing that he's afraid to do. Let me see if I can get Cody on the phone one more time. Oh, once again, you're tuned into the Texas Happy Hour. I'm your host, Big Sarge. We are sponsored by Hall Family Estates. Make sure you go to www.hallfamilyestates.com. They say you can't buy happiness, but you can buy wine, and that's the closest thing to happiness. Yeah, great wine. Cody, answer the phone, man. Yes, they do, Rashard. So look, y'all see I called Cody 3 times, right? He didn't answer the phone. Now you do realize that when he calls back, I'm not gonna answer the phone. Not at all. I'm just gonna look. And then I'm gonna call him back tomorrow. Come on now. Oh, I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Some of y'all getting ready to get in the car as soon as you finish watching this. Some of y'all gonna get in the car, head off to where you're going, and you're gonna call somebody, they're not gonna answer. Then you're gonna get to wherever you are or get back home and they're gonna call you, gonna be like, I ain't answered the damn phone. I was trying to talk to you while I was in the car. I do Cody like that a lot. Because Cody does me like that. So it ain't just me being mean to Cody. Cody does the exact same thing. I digress. Y'all make sure y'all look out for those 2 rookies. All right. Hold on. Y'all know we don't get up out of here without reading some of these comments. Y'all drop y'all comments over here. Y'all know during the Texas Happy Hour, this is what we do. So I got no problem with you being wrong, especially if you could say others would just keep changing the story. Exactly. They do. Texans tangent. Kalen Bullock is a dog. Yep, he is. Oh, King Kobe, you brought back that's a hey, some of these people don't even remember who Merton Hanks was. Merton Hanks had that long neck he had that Davis Mills neck. But he could play. Oh, he could play. Give you some cost saving if you have him on a 4-year rookie deal. Yep. Recovering from training during the season is best time to eat. Depth pieces, and then you got Jimmy Ward still here. He can be a valuable depth piece real quick. Yeah, we just got to keep Jimmy out of the Montgomery County Jail. As long as we can keep Jimmy out of the Montgomery County Jail, he'll be good. I think the defense is set, but the question mark is that offensive line. Yeah, make sure you go back and you listen to the past show that I had the host of the Texas on 3 podcast on with Killer Kyle, Frank Nitty, and Patton on. And we talked about that offensive line in depth. It's on in depth. It's on the Texas Tailgate Talk YouTube channel. For sure, I got you, Brandon. If I come across some tickets, I'll definitely let you know. Exactly. D'Amico has so many exotic looks on defense. I forget about. Oh snap! Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got a troll. Hey, Andrew Mannequin. Andrew Manano. I see your name is whatever it is, but I don't care. Y'all see this? Y'all see what Andrew say? Andrew say, shut your ass up, Big Sarge. Should be big P word. Hey, y'all know I don't say the P word. I don't know what it is about saying the P word. And I'm not going to use those words, Andrew, because I'm trying to be a better Christian, right? Hand over heart. I'm trying to be a better man and be a better Christian. And I normally wouldn't even give you the time of day. But guess what, Andrew? This is the Texans happy hour. What do you think is in here? Hold on for a second. Who the hell you think you are coming up into my house thinking that you're finna talk to me like this, Andrew? I mean, it's really good. You know what? I have a t-shirt that says thumb thugs don't scare me. You're a thumb thug, my guy. Who are you, Andrew? You have a pink A. Now you call me the P word, but look at that. It's a pink A. Who are you, Andrew? Nobody knows you. I bet your family doesn't even like you. Andrew, you don't even have a picture. See, you can see my face. And you go everywhere, you can see my face. Who are you, Andrew? Who are you? Are you a bot? Are you a bot? Like, who's paying for you, Andrew? Or who's paying for you to say this? Like, your life has to be miserable. Your life has to be miserable to take your time, which is the most valuable possession an individual has, you dummy. You're so ignorant that you're spending your time trying to criticize me, a guy that as soon as I remove this comment, I won't even remember who you are, Andrew. I don't. Andrew, I remember, I will remember more dumps that I have taken when my stomach is hurt than I will remember you, Andrew. Who are you, Andrew? You must live a miserable life, my guy. Like, I honestly and truly believe that inside of your mom's refrigerator, you have a gallon of Tampico punch that says mine on it. Andrew, I believe that because you're afraid to show yourself and because you have a pink A, I'm pretty sure on your grinder profile, you've probably used somebody else. Like, I'm pretty sure on your grinder profile, you got Timothy Chalamet as your profile picture. I'm pretty sure that and for those of you all don't know, Andrew knows what Grinder is. That's why I used that. I didn't say any of those other dating websites. I specifically said Grinder because I feel that that's the type of person that you are, uh, Andrew. I feel that that's the type of person that you are. You're miserable. Like, what is it about me that offends you so much that you came into my place and thought that you was gonna get this off? Wait, hold on. And what you thought was gonna happen when you was typing this out, Andrew? You probably thought when you was typing this out, you was like, oh, this is a good one right here. Oh, I'm gonna get Sarge and he gonna get riled up and he about to go off on me. I can't stand him, but yeah, I want the interaction. I want the back and forth. The only reason I'm putting this up here, Andrew, is to show you that you ain't do nothing, my guy. I don't care. Andrew, who are you? I will never meet you in life. Never. And Andrew, let me tell you something. I live in the state of Texas. Please don't ever run up on me thinking that you're going to get whatever it is you're trying to get off. Don't run up on me, Andrew. Because not only am I a big guy, not only am I a strong guy, I really only have to be able to lift 4 pounds and apply pressure. Now, some of you all will get that. Some of you all won't. But I live in the state of Texas. And I only really have to be able to, really just like apply pressure to 4 pounds. But Andrew, how do you feel? Like, does this make you feel like a man? Oh my God. You know what, Andrew? I hope you clip this up. Show it to your friends. Say, Sarge acknowledged me. Andrew, I hope you do. Like, if this is what's going to help you, Andrew, if this is what's going to help you get through my guy, or I don't know what you identify as, I don't know your pronouns. So if this is going to help you, Andrew, whatever it takes. I have mental health issues too. I deal with mental health issues. I'm a mental health advocate. For you to put this type of stuff up here when I didn't say nothing to you, Andrew. I don't even know you. Why? But it's time for me to go ahead and get you out the paint, Andrew. It's time for me to get you out the paint and send you back downstairs so you can play on your ColecoVision or your Intellivision or your Commander 64, your Atari. I don't know what you do. Pokemon Go. Um, I don't know. Put on your Go downstairs and put on your no shirt, your underwear, and your boots and your Superman cape. Andrew, I don't even know what it is you do. But you have been banned. Hey, everybody say bye, Andrew. On the count of three, say bye, Andrew. 1, 2, 3. Bye, Andrew. All right, y'all, let's get back to what we was doing. What was we doing? I was reading these comments. Oh man. D'Amico gonna have so many exotic looks on defense. Don't forget about Harris. Hopefully he'll be back. Exactly. Yep. Was a baller. Yep. Full expected championship type defense this year. I just need the offense to come through. Hangry this year, of course. Don't do Landry like that, King Kobe. Don't do Landry like that, man. Uh ah, uh appreciate that. Hating and engaging at the same time. Thanks for running the stats up, though. Yep. ah, ah, uh, ah. Oh man. Yep. So, getting back to what we was talking about. I missed y'all. And this is why I love you all. This is why I love you all. Oh, before I go, I gotta look this up. All right, so we know that the Houston Texans training camp starts July 23rd, right? So they have practice on the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th. That Saturday, July 26th, they have open practice. So they have open practice on July 26th. They have open practice on July 28th. They have open practice on July 29th. They have open practice on July 30th. They have open practice August 1st. And they have open practice on August the 2nd. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive open practices that they have. If you have an opportunity to come out to any of the Houston Texans open practices over at the Methodist Training Center, and you see me, make sure you see me early because I have some Texas Tailgate Talk water bottles that I'm going to be passing out, but they're limited. I'm only bringing a certain amount per day, and once I give them out, they gone, and they exclusive. Once they gone, they gone. It's a one-time deal. I'm never doing water bottles like that again. So if you're there, come on out there, get what you need, do what you need to do. Find me. King Kobe. Oh, well, hey. Well, look. Hey, if you're gonna be there August the 2nd, find me. I got something for you. What's up, AD? Hey man, you just missed Andrew. You know, wait, AD. Hold on. You said I need my sideline pass. AD. I think I know who Andrew is. AD, I think I know who Andrew is. I couldn't figure it out in the moment because I was too busy roasting Andrew. I think I figured out who it is. AD, hey man, tell your guy he ain't gotta come on here and cuss me out like that. If you want to talk to me, he know how to find me. What up, Tay? So if you're out at the open practice, right? If you're out at the open practice and you see me, and if I have a water bottle, hey, look, I got you. I got you. I really, honestly, and truly love the support that you all give. I love the support that you all have for me. Even you, Andrew. Even you. Yeah, Tay, you missed the roast session. You got to go back and watch it. You got to go back a little bit and see what Andrew had to say about me. What's up, Larry? But for those of you all who are just chiming in, I got to get ready to go because my wife is getting ready to come home in a second, and y'all know I gotta hold on. This is the that's 15. I got to get ready to get dinner together. Something that I love to do, by the way, bring out with all forms of bullshit. No, hey, no, Tay, hey, look, y'all, Tay about that action, boss. Nah, Tay is good, man. I already took care of I don't know what he identifies as. But no, we already took care of it. But look, for those of you all who are just joining, make sure you go back and you listen. And I said that I talked on the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast. I talked about how the experience of Nick Caley being a tight ends coach is going to help the offense this season. I believe that it's going to help the offense this season and help CJ Stroud take that next step. And then the Texas Happy Hour, which you're watching and tuned into right now, I talked about how I feel that the rookie cornerback Jalen Smith and the rookie safety Jalen Reed, how they're going to be able to watch and to be able to mimic everything that the players who play at their current positions right now, who are starting in those positions, they're going to be able to see how everything is done, how everything operates, how everything moves, and then they'll be able to incorporate their skill set to that and be a help on that defensive side of the ball. And so you're being able to watch the defensive backfield move and operate, how not only how they operate together, but how they operate as a unit with that linebacker group and with that ferocious, defensive line that the Houston Texans have. Look, Houston Texans going to finish top 5 in defense if they can stay healthy this year. Just like I said, if Nico Collins would have stayed healthy last year, he would have been an all-pro wide receiver. I feel the exact same thing about Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr. doesn't get hurt, he's an all-pro. Last season, I did the trajectory numbers midway through the season, I think, and I said, hey, Will got an opportunity because if you look at the people who made all-pro the year prior, and you got to take into totality what was going on when they got hurt. When Nico got hurt, he was leading the league in receiving yards. He was the number 1 wide receiver in receiving yards when he got hurt. When Will got hurt, he had just been named AFC Defensive Player of the Month. So you can't tell me that if those guys are like you could tell me, but I'm not going to believe it. But those two guys, with the way that the trajectory that they were on and how they were playing, they were going to make all pro. I just feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my spirit, y'all. I feel it in my spirit. Tay says we're gonna need the help of sweet Lord baby Jesus to help Dalton Schultz. You know what though, Tay? Side note. I don't know. K Stover with the rookie Luke Lachey, Brevin Jordan coming back. So let me ask a question. I didn't mean to do this, y'all, but I gotta ask because I gotta agree about. Let me just ask real quick, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Honestly, is Dalton the automatic starter at tight end? Does he? I mean, because he's been a starter in the past, do you already make him the starter? Is he? Is Dalton Schultz the automatic starter at tight end? Do you put him there because you don't know the uncertainty of what Brevin Jordan is going to be, especially coming off the injury that he sustained and he missed the entire season last year? So you don't know. So I mean, you could be like, okay, we don't know what Brevin's going to do. We got to watch him in training camp and let's just see how he progresses in training camp. Luke Lachey is a Luke Lachey is a rookie. He has to learn the game. Cade Stover coming back. Somebody that CJ's very familiar with. Somebody who 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 played pretty good last season for a rookie. And then you have Dalton Schultz. I mean, if I was starting, see, and that's where it gets funny, and that's where it gets tricky. Because I was about to say, if the Houston Texans had to play a game right now, I'd be like, well, I guess Dalton Schultz would be the starter. Then again, I don't know. What has Nick Caley seen on film, or what has Nick Caley observed on film as he's watching tight ends that he's going to automatically put Dalton Schultz as the starter? What has he observed? What has he observed? I mean, excuse me, has he observed enough to whereas he could say, "No, nah, I think I want to put Cade there." Like at this point, heading into training camp, can we just can it is Dalton Schultz the automatic tight end number one? Like I feel like that's a really good question. And if he is tight end number one, for how long? Everything about the Houston Texans says, hey, we're going to compete. Like there's only certain people. There are certain people on the Houston Texans. There's certain people, certain players on the Houston Texans that ain't got to compete for their job. I don't need to say it. You already know who they are. There's certain people that's not competing for their jobs. Then again, it's certain positions that are up for grabs. And I honestly and truly believe, now that I sit here and think about it more and more, that tight end position is up for grabs. I don't think that Dalton Schultz has solidified that to say, hey, he's the true tight end number one. Now, with that being said, what has Nick Caley observed to say, hey, man, I know what I need to do to get Dalton back to how he was when he was with the Cowboys? How he was, even with his first year with CJ. Dalton made some plays. Don't let's not just act like Dalton Schultz was a bust. Let's not act like he was a bust because he wasn't that first year. The second year, I wouldn't even say that Dalton was a bust. Second year, I mean, and look, I may be able to even side with giving him a pass that said that Bobby didn't use him the right way. So now you do have a tight ends coach, a former tight ends coach, a former position coach who worked under one of the best, who worked under one of the, I say, the most brilliant mind in football right now, in Sean McVay, who probably say, "Hey, man, this is how you can use them." Like, watch what they did in their sets. So maybe he looked at it and said, "Dalton is my day one starter." Maybe he looked at it and said, "Kate." Or maybe Brevin can make a case for it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Can we honestly say that he is tight end number one. Tay says Stover will be tight end one, in my opinion, come game one. Okay. Don't sleep on Jordan either. Brevin Jordan. Larry says Dalton is a starter, but barely. Kaylee's, I know you meant Kaylee. Specialty is supposed to be tight ends, exactly. And that's what we talked about on the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast on Thursday's edition of that. Dalton is in competition this year. I agree with Tay. Stover should have his breakout season. All right. And Brevin coming back to reclaim his breakout season. I was just about to say Bobby really didn't use him right. And you're talking about Bobby didn't use Dalton Schultz the right way. Tay says that Stover and Jordan. So you got Stover at one, Jordan backing him up, and then you got Schultz, and then you got Lachey. So you have Dalton Schultz as your now Tay, I ain't gonna go that far. Hold on now. I ain't gonna go that far as to say that Dalton Schultz is tight end number 3. If he ain't number 1, he's gonna be number 2. If he's not number 1, he's gonna be number 2. Because, and I look at it like this, right? I look at it like this. If you got Dalton, you're gonna have Cade backing him up, right? If you got Dalton at 1, Cade is gonna be the backup at number 2. If you have Cade at 1, then Dalton is gonna be the backup at number 2. There's too much uncertainty coming from the unknown with Brevin Jordan right now. Even though, like I said, I seen the video, and I mean, he looks great. He's getting in and out of cuts, breaks. Excuse me. He's cutting, and so I mean, you look forward to him having a really good training camp. And I could be wrong. We could come back, and I could be totally wrong about this. But on the flip side, there's just too much uncertainty by that, and I don't know what Luke Lachey is going to be. Hey, Crizzle, hold on one second before you go. I don't. My wife's home. I don't know what Luke Lachey is going to be as far as Ricky. Remind me to show you what some. I don't know what they identify as, so I don't know what their pronouns are. Person named Andrew said about me right here on this Texas Happy Hour live. Woo. It was funny. You hungry? All right. Well, y'all, you know what that means, right? Let me finish reading these, and then I gotta go. Sometimes you gotta prove you can use what you got before the front office lets you go out and get more. Yep. Oh, snap, Larry. You talking about somebody that can block. Irv Smith. He's like, dang, Larry, you pulled that one. Hey, look. Hey, hats off to you, Larry. I don't care what Patton and Frank Nitti and Killer Kyle say about you loving the Patriots, man. My hat goes off to you because I forgot all about Irv Smith. Woo! It's a toss-up between them, Sarge. If we keep it a buck, Stover blocks and catches more consistently than Schultz. Then we look at Brevin and see his upside. Yep. And Queena says Stover and then Schultz. Jordan Smith, Schultz playing for a contract. Yeah, that is true too. That is true too. Well, y'all heard the missus is home. It's time for Big Sarge to make sure that he feeds him. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you subscribe to the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast, all one word, Texas Tailgate Talk podcast and YouTube channel. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And go to www.bigsargemedia.com. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be with you all today doing back-to-back shows. Oh, it feels so amazing. It feels good. Yeah. It feels good. Ah. Y'all know that? Tony. Feels good. Yeah. It feels good to know that your show looks good. If the to your baby, let me hear you. Big Sarge, I'm out.
Big Sarge. Yes, sir.